job. I hate this goddamn job and I don't need it.
You two had better be calmed down or we're breaking out the ball gags.
You're listening to the fucking Sons and Shadows podcast on this network, so fucking subscribe or die. Fist bump.
Welcome back, everybody, to Nostalgia TV, the graveyard shift of forgotten television shows. We are back with the second round of V, the final battle miniseries this time. All right, Kevin, we're talking about V, the miniseries. What do you think of this one?
I was going in expecting less, and I wound up liking it more. I didn't think that they were going to be able to do it and have me be as intrigued as I was with the first miniseries, but I really liked this one.
Yeah, I actually rewatching it again for the first time in a very long time. This one was actually quite a bit of fun. Now, I understand, like, Kenneth wasn't able to come back around this time. He was butting heads with the network. So he wasn't able to kind of navigate the story the way he wanted to. NBC, the network, wanted to go a different way. But what we ended up getting was still a good miniseries. It's just as far as, like, Kenneth Johnson goes, this isn't exactly what he wanted. What his sequel idea is more of the book he wrote, V, the Second Generation, I believe it's called. And so that's more the sequel than this was. But he still gets the credit as the creator, but he actually had to undergo a pseudonym on the writing credits because they basically took his ideas and threw them out the window.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was still an enjoyable miniseries. It's now 3 episodes instead of the first original one, which was only 2. So you got about 4.5 hours of pretty good quality television here. Now, they did bring back most of the original cast, and some that did come back didn't seem to last long. So if you got too attached to certain people, I would advise you not to.
Yeah, I can't think of the one guy's name, but the guy whose girlfriend was infiltrating as the whore, more or less.
She was going deep undercover, everybody.
Yeah, Daniel's girlfriend, the HJ's girlfriend.
Yeah.
He was kind of a douche, and he didn't get to stay throughout the entire victory. But as soon as he proposed to her, you knew he was going to die, just because that's what happens in war movies.
Can't do that in science fiction, people. You just can't do that. Horror, science fiction, the second you say, let's get married, dude, you just signed your own death warrant.
Yep.
And that's even if you live.
No shit. Yeah, there's people like him that didn't make it, but then we got new additions that were pretty great new additions, like Michael Ironside, who was great.
It's Cam.
You know,
I want to say Cam because I hated the idea his name was going to be Ham.
I even looked it up. I was like, really? Ham? You don't say.
Probably short for Hampton.
Yes.
We know a Hampton or two.
I know one, and he knows me, and I don't say shit because Hampton could, anyway.
He could smoke your ass.
Yes, he could.
Literally.
Yeah, he probably, anyway. No.
Sorry, Hampton. I couldn't resist.
And it's not even 0 point night. But anyway, I digress. Michael Ironside, he was pretty great in this. And then his partner, what was his name? I can't ever think of his name.
If you want to look that up, I think Michael Ironside was a terrific addition to the cast because he really brought a different dynamic as a former, like, mercenary for hire and very nefarious, very, like, not okay, but he ended up becoming more okay as he went along, and you got to know him and how he interacted with everybody. But he was definitely way more of an aggressive type of trying to win this battle by any means. And he brought that with such a great energy and presence that he knocked it out of the frickin' park. He actually really made this show for me.
I could see that. Like he was that very aggressive force that wasn't present in the first series.
Right.
The all lizards are dead, or the only good lizard is a dead lizard sort of mentality.
Do you want to know more?
Yeah, exactly. And the character I was thinking of was Chris Farber,
Okay, yeah.
which Mike Ham calls him Faber or Faber. I don't remember
Faber.
which, but they had to change the name because he kept pronouncing it wrong. So they just went with it and changed it in the script. But that was Mickey Jones.
Yeah.
Who is famous for being the biker or the trucker in that one movie. Anyone, pick one. He's that guy.
That's how you want to describe that.
Okay, so our Misty friends, you know him from Laser Blast. He's the sheriff in Laser Blast who's thinking maybe you might not be ready for some football.
Are you ready for some football?
Football!
Monday night.
He was on one of the guests on Tool Time all the time on Home Improvement.
I was gonna say that's where I recognized him from more than anything. I was like watching this again, and I'm like, "Ah, damn! I forgot he was in this show."
Well, where the guy and his girlfriend get into a fight, and he gets in between. He fucking just tells the guy, "Now, mister, you ask yourself for one moment, do you question yourself that I can't change your life in the blink of an eye?"
Or right now.
I was like, at least he's fair. At least he's fair.
Gave the man a chance to make that decision, or he was going to make it for him.
Yes, you could leave with your penis attached or not.
Yeah, I mean, well,
because he was getting
that
at
couple was kind of a weird dynamic between the two. It's like, who do you really side with? She's doing something for possibly the benefit of humanity and infiltration, and he's just like, you're my girlfriend and you're banging this other dude as a secret. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, as an audience, would you be okay with that? But also, it doesn't also give you the right to put your hands on her and threaten to beat her when this is clearly just a job to her. This is not out of love or anything of that nature.
No, and it's like his partner had asked him, think about what this is doing to her. Think about how she feels about having to do all this.
And she's not doing it because she likes it.
No, or because she wants to at all. It doesn't make her feel good that she has to do that. She doesn't she comes back to you wanting to feel safe again and normal,
yeah.
and you're making her feel anything but. Like he calls her a whore. So
yeah.
So again, it wasn't bad that he got shot.
No, but he also by that point had made it up with her, and she accepted his apology, and she was even saying, like, I guess I didn't understand your feelings about this either. I mean, it's just two young idiots in love, I guess.
Yeah.
And they couldn't just figure it out or talk it out rationally.
They didn't have a whole lot of toothpaste, so washing ding dong at her anyway.
That's if it was big enough anyway. Sorry, Brian. You got thrown in a Lunchable, bro.
Anyway.
A dish served on a platter.
A tiny platter.
Because poor Brian did ultimately get his.
He did, and that was pretty great. I don't know if it was severe enough or if they showed enough, but again, it was 1985, and they can't show the severe beating of a child on TV.
Well,
even
with
if
him,
it's a teenager.
Well, with him, I would argue what they showed in an earlier episode of the Final Battle miniseries here is actually people being put in pre-packaged processing food containers. We could have seen him in one of those.
That would have been cool. I would have been.
That's what I would argue about that. It's like you could have at least showed that,
or having him been frozen, terrified. That would have been cool too.
Yep. But then again, he had also been beaten by a tenderizer, so he was probably ready for a quick and easy meal for somebody. Hannibal would be proud.
Yeah, right. You just kind of squish the bones out. Or in the lizard's case, they just kind of pass.
With a nice Chianti and fava beans.
Now I'll 0 point. NECA has a beautiful action figure of Hannibal coming out that's going to go perfect on my desk right next to the camera.
Which Hannibal? Was it Anthony or?
It's Anthony. It's from Silence of the Lambs. It's where
Okay.
he's escaping, beating Sergeant Pembry with the nightstick.
Oh, okay.
And he's got not the detectives, the guards' blood spattered up all up over him. And it's like, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I want it.
That actually makes me wonder if there was like any toys for this show when we were kids.
I would have imagined so, because it seems really damn popular.
We're going to go to the bay. We're going to take a quick little look.
Uh-oh.
V series toys. And I see kind of replica ones, things that are made nowadays that are brand new. I'm not seeing anything vintage, though. You know, that was probably a missed opportunity back then by not doing some sort of toy, because I seem to remember watching this as a kid. And I know my dad watched it, and I watched it with him, but
That seems like a missed opportunity, especially for someone like Kenner.
right.
Let's see here.
Yeah, the only thing I'm seeing, and for our YouTube personnel, I will share our screen so you can see what I am talking about. V. And that is what they got. The Visitors Collection. You got Sentry Guard number 425.
Yeah, that's about all I'm able to find on Google, too.
And then you got the Alien Creatures. Lizard Visitor. And then you got Technician Visitor. How generic can you get? I guess very.
Here we are.
Oh, the custom figures.
Jesus, you had to go and find it, didn't you? Look to the right. The LBJN or LBJ? LBJN. It's the same company that made the Jaws video game. See?
Okay.
Stuff. That looks like it's from '84.
That looks pretty authentic.
Well, that company's no longer they're not around anymore. They went under a long time ago.
Okay.
Anyway,
and of course, people just saw that I was looking at extended edition Punisher DVDs, which I did acquire one. I don't care if I now have a second one. I have one here in Arizona now.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that seemed like a little bit of a missed opportunity. But I would have thought, at least after the original, when you're doing this final battle one and doing the TV show, that you might have jumped on, hey, let's at least put something out there. But seems like if they did, it wasn't much.
Considering as forceful or insistent to compare this to Star Wars as they were, like even having the Star Wars theme in the first half of it, or in the first miniseries. But that having been said, they had a bigger budget this time around because there was a lot more lasers being shot.
Yep, a lot more special effects were used. I mean, they did reuse and recycle a lot of like the big like space flying ships and whatnot. And they seemed like they just moved the one little space shuttle that they made around to the different physical locations. So everybody was using the same damn shuttle.
And that's okay. Shit, that it worked out better than you see most Star Trek costumes being circulated in the first 5 movies. But anyway, I liked it. I liked the budget boost. I liked, again, a lot more lasers are being used. You didn't see a whole lot of M16s and squibs being used until the end.
Correct.
And even then, you're just kind of like, well, okay, I guess we're gonna do that still. Ran out of the budget.
The almighty Dada.
But by the time they reached the end, I feel like they almost ran out of budget on writing too. Like they didn't really know quite how to end the show.
They ended it. Now we can just go ahead and talk about it. What did you think of the ending?
I thought it was stupid. I thought the whole fucking show is brilliant. Like the first 4 hours and like whatever
15 minutes.
yeah was perfect until the little girl's like, hey, I'm gonna go grab these 2 keys and stop the nuke.
I'm gonna save the day, everybody. Like,
Hashtag
okay,
lizard
we're doing
baby.
the kid thing. All right.
Lizard baby is a space magic ninja lizard baby. Like, she grabbed these 2 keys, the safety override keys for this nuke, and stopped the nuke countdown from happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they just not know how to end the show? That seems so silly and stupid. Like, no other lizard creature can do that. Like, they could have gone in so many different directions with what this kid can do and what she symbolizes, but no, they decided her big reveal was going to be she grabs the keys, starts to glow, and stops the nuke.
No, wait. You're missing something. She starts to glow and she gets glitterized.
Glitterized. Excuse me. Yes.
Glitter power.
Yeah, and she looked like she was getting beamed up. Is really
By
what
Gem
it
and the
looked like.
holograms.
Yeah. And she turns around and says tiny penis or some weird word.
Pretanata or something like that, which is basically the alien word for peace. And it's like, that's an interesting callback to either of this. I forgot if that was the second episode or this episode, the third episode, where she basically is telling Diana that word over and over again. And Diana's just like, no, we don't do that. We aren't talking peace here. There ain't no room for peace here. It's like,
it's not within our, it's not within our culture or something like that. And you're like, ooh, I don't know what that word is, but it sounds naughty. And yeah, you find out it's peace. And that reveal was fun. That was okay.
Yeah, that was fine. Yeah.
But the, like, using magic to stop the nuke.
Alien space magic, dude. Get it right.
Yes. Like, we just use science to stop this war and fight back against this alien race. But we're going to use magic to stop their ultimate weapon, which is a scientific-based weapon.
Whoa. Are you telling me we're watching the 80s version of The Acolyte right now?
Oh! Magic and science?
The ending for me... Oh, go ahead.
There was Mickey Jones, so there was a Jedi ninja, or a Jedi Wookiee.
This is true. I was just gonna say, like, much like you, that the ending doesn't really work for me, brother. Diana basically escapes the giant ship. She's heading back to Earth. Nobody of consequence really died, other than a few main characters throughout the last couple of episodes. We lost the old lady Ruby. We lost a bunch of other people, and it was sad to see some of them go. Some of them were really good, and I think they could have done something more in this show, especially once they hit the TV version of it this seasons. But, you know, it at least served a purpose. Nobody's death felt like, man, that was kind of dumb. Why'd you get rid of that person? No, each death at least made sense. But in the end, like, nothing really happened except, all right, we're all going our favorite, separate, and happy ways. We'll see you on the next episode, everybody. I'm like, oh, dear God. The first miniseries had a better ending than this.
Yeah, it was a lot happier. There was a lot of waka waka music in this one. Like, oh, it's a celebration. Everyone's happy. They're playing the disco music. Which by 85, hadn't we gotten past waka waka music?
I would think so, but disco wasn't dead yet until they went to what was it, New Comiskey Park? Disco Demolition Night.
I don't know when that was.
At some point in the 80s, I kind of remember it, but I don't at the same time, and I'm not going to look that up.
No. They have things to do.
I only bring that up because, like, baseball is kind of a pivotal point when they're talking about Donovan's kid and him being brainwashed and being a total spy. It's like, well, he doesn't like baseball anymore. Spoiler alert, he's not your kid anymore. He's been converted.
Yeah. Like, golly, at first you're kind of like, oh, is he going through puberty? He doesn't want to hang out with me anymore.
Dad's not cool anymore, yo.
Yeah, but no, I want to hang out with the scientists and find out what they're doing. And I want to listen behind the doors and find out what's happening in all these secret meetings.
What you're planning.
Yeah, I'm just going to hang out here. Fuck baseball.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, puberty does that to kids. They want to hang out and listen to the political plots. So
I didn't. I wanted to play video games and be left alone with to my own devices.
that's true. I didn't want to hang out and play baseball with my dad either. I actually hated that more than fucking anything else. I don't catch well, and my dad throws very hard. Dainty. Anyway,
Fragile.
Yeah. Fragile. Yeah, these are a gamer's hands. I'll definitely say that. But my wife's like, but they give such good back massages.
And that's all they give everybody.
Yeah, but I've got 3 kids. Well,
we had twins in this show. Demon Baby and Demon Baby 2.
Hashtag lizard babies.
And that wasn't even the ugly one either. The other one was all green.
I know, and I thought that was going to end up being the good one, and this was going to be the crazy, creepy one. And golly, I thought that was going to be the way it went because, of course, Diana gets a hold of her and starts here thinking, oh, she's going to start doing the nature versus nurture thing, which would have been a very logical way to take that characterization. But golly, the way that the character got there, just the priest being like, oh, you know what? Her mom killed her father, so I just decided to bring her here to you and defect.
Which
The
there was
priest.
no build up to that like at all.
Yeah, it was so random. And then it was almost like an added scene where the dad and Elizabeth's mom, I can't think of her name, Heather?
I think so.
Anyway, where she's like, I hated her, but now I miss her. I can't believe the priest did that. Like, well, 5 minutes ago you were killing somebody and like all happy about it and shit. Like, this is sort of random and different. Like, it was very off-putting in a way.
Yeah, it's not like you just grabbed the kid, walked outside, and found another, visitor vehicle out there and was like, hey, I got an alien hybrid kid here. We need to get to the mothership stat. Like, let's keep this rolling because I'm betraying everything I ever knew with these people just because I don't agree with something that just happened inside.
Yeah, and he gets his own taste of temptation because he's going to be the one to bring Christianity to Sirius.
I'm going to be the convert that brings all of you alien heathens under the umbrella of God.
And you and I come from a land where the Spaniards brought Christianity to a new nation. There was a lot of gravestones there. So in a way, I'm glad she killed him before he got that chance.
Yeah, not to mention polio. Chickenpox.
HPV.
All the good stuff.
Most sexually active adults do. But yeah, so him having that temptation and handing Elizabeth over, that was so very different and random that kind of was off-putting for me. And then actually any scene with one of the kids was kind of off-putting. Like it was, I didn't like it. I understood it with his kid being the drone in the sleeper cell. But golly, it was annoying until you figured out, yes, he finally believes that his kid is a sleeper cell drone. Him getting upset with everybody.
It already in his head as early as like, I don't want to play baseball. I want to stay here and watch the science stuff. And
yeah,
I love
he knew.
You. I love you. Okay, Dad, I gotta go. Like, all right. We as kids, even though we hated saying it, when a parent said I love you, it's like, yeah, okay, love you too. Bye. You'd still get the I love you. It just would be begrudging at that age. So it's like, but you can see the look on his face. It's like, there's something wrong with him. Poor Donovan, his girlfriend and his kid kidnapped, and they both come back like more broken than they ever were before.
But at least the girlfriend, like, she had that Manchurian candidate aspect to her at the end, but she was still able to fight it in a way. She was still pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looked like how they were handling that is she just wouldn't be able to harm Diane.
Yeah.
Diana or Diana? Or Diane?
Diana?
I think it's Diana. But I don't think they'd be able to.
Diana,
yeah. I don't think they'd be able to. She's able to like actually do any like harm to her. So it's like I could shoot everybody else, but I can't shoot Diana.
Yeah,
because
she's got the fourth directive.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me with like RoboCop. It's like there's still something in there. I mean, she's largely okay, but she's got enough issues going on otherwise.
She has enough social baggage without the war.
Yeah.
And then what was Donovan's first girlfriend's name? The other reporter that I asked if she was going to die. She did, and she died more pleasantly.
The traitor bitch.
Yeah, she went out okay.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what the reptiles wanted her to do and say, "Oh, this was all staged," she went and said the opposite. So she died okay. She died a hero-ish.
They're really alien creatures, and they're really wearing skin suits, and yada yada. And they told her to stop. She wouldn't, so they straight up shot her.
They warned her twice.
Yep, and then they went ahead and they shot a whole brand new party, complete with hold applause sign up.
That was so awesome.
That was funny. That was pretty clever, even for an older show like that. It's something you wouldn't find yourself laughing at if you just wandered onto it by yourself. It's like it's out of place, but it feels in place because of how the visitors treat Earth and how they understand culture.
Well, that, and they learned it from us.
Yep.
Like, it was Donovan's mom's idea, wasn't it? Was to reshoot the party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, I did not like her character. Great job on the actress, though, for doing that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because she was a despicable character.
Well, and Donovan's dad and her husband just basically is like, that's it. I've had enough with your ass. I'm out of here. And she's like, you walk out that door, you ain't never coming back. And he's like, thank God. And he just kept on walking and left. This is the last time we ever saw him.
Yeah, he doesn't end up getting killed, does he? At least not
from what I know less about the TV show because I've only seen it like once. These I've seen a couple of times, so I can at least talk about it after just rewatching it once. I don't have to watch it like 2 or 3 times just for notes. But I mean, I'm going to be bad about remembering character names, but I'll always pick up on the storyline beats.
Yeah.
But man, like, I love when he left. I'm like, thank God. And he said the same line. And it's like, I don't think it's because I knew he was going to say that. It's what I would say in that situation.
I'm fucking out.
Later. See ya, Felicia.
You opportunistic whore.
So long, gay girl.
And she really was like, what was she sleeping with the Steven like right in the other room from her husband while he was
I don't know. It certainly felt like it.
Didn't even
Those
bother.
two had some great chemistry, so it clearly felt like there was some weird sexual tension between the two.
Yeah, and Steven just totally had her wrapped around his finger and knew it.
Or tail.
Tail, yeah, which he could let go of at any time.
Yep, you never know when it just falls right on off.
It grows back. But I love that
last time.
The way he goes out, they go out together almost like Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun. You know, he tells her, oh, protect me, say something, buy me time. And she goes to buy herself time and he shoots her for it.
Yeah. That was so funny.
That made me laugh. Oh, he's been making me do this. You bitch.
I thought he was hoping to provide a distraction, so. And he didn't really want to take her with him.
No. She was definitely the distraction.
Yep. Here, figure out this other dead body while I make my getaway. Oh shit, that didn't work out so well either. He ended up getting dusted, so to speak, with the red dust.
That was pretty awesome.
It would have been funny if they would have used like cayenne pepper dust, like the red stuff. And have that drop on your face and you're just screaming in pain.
You can't
I know
breathe,
that's sadistic. I'm
see.
sorry. Not sorry.
I like it. But no, I liked Ironside's up and personal relationship that he had with, say, Steven killing him and then getting ready to knock out Brian before they killed and gave him over to the rest of the visitors.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was pissed that Brian had gotten Ruby killed, or Brian killed Ruby.
He was ready to freaking murder him with a champagne bottle.
And I was ready to watch him murder him with the champagne bottle.
I think we all were. And we're like, oh, why are you stopping him? But I think what we ended up getting as a result was satisfying. I don't know if it was like overly satisfying, but he ended up getting his karma back around.
Oh, I would have put the fat into that bottle right up his tuchus. You want a lizard tail yourself?
I would have gone through the front end on him.
Yeah, he was a big penis.
Yep.
You don't turn over on your own kind like that. You just don't.
No, and he was just all too eager to do it. He got questioned multiple times, even by like Ruby. She's like, you're not going to shoot me. You're not going to do anything. There's still a good boy in there somewhere. And he just straight up shot her.
Yeah, bless her heart. He shot her to spite her.
You don't know me, bitch.
Yeah, and cover up his own fucking fear and inadequacies and being a big old bitch and pussy baby. Because that's all he was.
Ass bitch.
He was a bitch pussy baby wearing a uniform.
Bitch made pussy baby. Like dead wire pussy.
Dead wire pussy.
Dead pussy wire that.
Do I still have that in here? I think I do.
I don't know, because people are probably going to be wondering,
no,
what the hell are you guys going on about? It was a graphic from our live stream. We're just inside joke.
Yeah. So look up Zoe Kravitz, kids, and reach out to her and tell her that you are ready to embrace the word pussy, and you learned it from Dead Pussy Wire Live.
It's poussé.
Poussé. It's French.
That means it's real.
It's real.
No parlez-vous français.
But what did you think of the idea of the backfire on Diana of having the hybrid babies being the creation of their undoing?
More of a Diana question, or
kind of like, because that really backfired on her. Like that was really supposed to be them taking us over by dirtying up our DNA, but it really kind of backfired.
Yeah, it's hard to say what she was really after. I think she was just more morbid curiosity of like, hey, I wonder what happens if we try and breed with them, and if we could find, I don't know, ultimately. But she felt like the idea of actually breeding with them to be kind of like disgusting anyway. Once she actually met the kid, she's like, this might be a useful tool, but she wasn't looking at it like as the salvation of her species or anything like that. So, yeah, she got a little cocky. She got a little too much enjoyment out of like, hey, let's fuck with these people more than we really need to. It's like, hey, why don't you just get your resources and get the fuck out? You're bleeding us dry in the water. Just take your shit and go.
Kind of, yes. Leave us alone. Prepackaged food packaging.
Yeah.
Your Lunchables.
Yep, that's what I was calling that, Lunchable style. But at least with Pamela being around, that gave something more for Diana to bounce off of and feel like there is a hierarchy here beyond Diana. We have, quote unquote, the leader over everybody who's never seen. And then you got Pamela, who's basically her equivalent, maybe just a tick higher ranked, who comes here to kind of inspect on the whole invasion angle and what's going on. And she's feeling like Diana just isn't up to snuff anymore. She's a little too stressed out. She keeps making mistakes. Bad shit keeps happening. It just felt like I've seen this in a bunch of other movies and TV shows before, where it's like your boss came here and they ain't digging what you got. They're primed to take over, but ultimately Diana ends up just straight up shooting Pamela in the final episode.
That was awesome.
I was like, yeah, politics, yo.
Yeah, like I preferred the direct approach and just walked right up and shot her point blank.
But she had to have a conversation first.
Yeah, but that was so cool. And Sarah Douglas playing Pamela was brilliant.
Awesome.
I didn't know she was in this, so like seeing her, I was like, "Is that Ursa?" Is yay!
Yes, it is. She was great. I really enjoyed her performance in this.
Yeah,
All the
she's always a
acting
delight.
in this miniseries was honestly very, very good for everybody. The only one I wasn't really digging was Donovan's kid.
Yeah. Was he recast from the first episode or from the first
Certainly
series?
felt like it. I didn't really look it up though to know for sure, but
Yeah.
he just wasn't cutting it for me. Maybe that was done on purpose just to give that vibe off. There's something off with this kid, but wasn't exactly digging his acting chops, so to speak. Everybody else felt like they were just so far away on the experience and quality scale that he just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb.
But I want cake. You said I could have cake.
Well, tell us the answer, then you can have cake. Okay. Oh God.
That was just, I don't know if that was bad writing, if that was bad acting. It was just annoying. Like, give him what he wants, pacify him. I don't know. That very much was stolen from the Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, giving Edmund the Turkish delight. Give him
Right.
whatever he wants. Just figure it out.
Just give it to him.
And then kill him. Kill him while he's eating it.
The beatings will not stop until morale improves.
And then Grandma actually had cake there ready for him.
Yeah, a slice was already ready.
Yeah. Golly, she was just a twat waffle. I did not like her.
No, I didn't like her like at all either. And the fact that she was like Donovan's mother, like, oh my God.
Yeah, I wrote him off this morning.
He hasn't been my son in a long time. I'm gonna sleep with Steven.
Get LPV.
Sure, right? Should be the next lady knocked up with lizard babies if they had their way.
Get an unsightly ring around your neck. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait, do they naturally get rings around their neck, or was this kind of a thing that they were doing? Because, I pass no judgments.
No, but if it's anything like ring around the posy, then I can see how that works out.
Giggity. The crimson butterfly.
Pretty much. Now, what'd you think overall on like the pacing between the episodes? You feel like this was a strong 3 episodes, or do you think they could have like cut some stuff down? What were you?
So actually, I had a question for you about that. We did a little bit of talking last night when we were done with Deadwire, and I'd said that I really enjoyed the whole thing. I thought it was brilliant up until like the last 2 minutes where they had Elizabeth grab the keys and save the day. She didn't even turn the motherfuckers. But you'd said that you liked it after the first half hour, like the first half hour dragged on for you. And I had to think, what happened in that first half hour that dragged for you? And I had to ask myself, what did happen? Did anything happen in that first half hour? Is that the problem? Like, I don't recall.
Yeah, that seems to be like how I was feeling about that. Was like, it starts off really good, like the big escape, and just getting right to the story. But after the first 15 minutes, it just feels like it just slows down just like way too much for like the next 25 minutes.
Yeah, kind of.
And then it finally gets rolling again, and it stays fine for the rest of the miniseries. It just feels like there was like some editing choice there, or script choice, or combination of everything, where they, they resolved the ending of the original miniseries, and then they had to figure out how to reset things to get to the story they wanted to tell. And it just felt like it wasn't really connecting or working. So it probably had a little bit to do with Kenneth Johnson no longer being involved. And so they kind of had to figure out a way to mesh the new story they were trying to tell as opposed to the one that he was trying to tell.
Yeah.
And of course, that comes across as kind of like a bit of a mess most of the time. When you see like a change in showrunners, like in the middle of production, pre-production, or anything, usually if you feel like something just doesn't feel quite right, it's probably as a result of that kind of disconnect between somebody leaving the show and somebody coming onto the show.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, otherwise the pacing didn't bother me. The only thing that I noticed in that regard with the pacing is, say, when they wake up Donovan's son, and then you don't see him again for a good long time, and then he's planted back at the base, and that's
Right.
kind of where things kind of pick back up, I guess, plot wise, at least for Donovan.
Yeah, and Donovan's story is pretty solid straight through otherwise, so I pretty much enjoy what he's got going on. And then when Michael Ironside's character shows up, then it really kind of gets much more interesting overall, because they have this dual alpha male mentality going on between the two, and it's usually resolved by fighting each other and beating the crap out of each other. And that fight in the third episode, when they finally just come to blows, was enjoyable, but it was also super comical at times. It's like,
Oh,
somebody's clearly waiting to get grabbed so they could get flipped or tossed or something. And it finally ends with just Donovan grabs Michael Ironside and just kind of pulls him against the truck alongside of him, and they just drop to the ground together. I'm like, that wasn't even a finishing blow. You had a chance to finish him. Put him down. Fatality.
That's back
Finish
when
him.
people solved problems with their fists. They
Especially
forgot
alpha
to
males.
use their fists, but they solved them with their fists. It was more of a launch and toss.
That's what I wanted.
I'll harm you.
Throw him off the damn cliff that you were nearby, guys. Come on.
I don't know. It was a good fight, though. Like, it wasn't. Yeah, to your point, there was some called shots, but it was still cool.
Yep. It was fine.
Just watch
Especially the guy in
everyone
the
say
truck
that.
going, guys, come on, stop doing that.
You're fucking things up.
We got stuff we got to deliver. We got like this red cocaine stuff here, man.
This red cocaine stuff that they launched from balloons. And I love that she took the gamble to blow one up with the hunch that it had the toxin on there. Well, I guess it did have the
totally
toxin.
disintegrated that fucker too. I was like, that
they-
might have been a little overkill, lady.
Can you imagine being somebody else on one of the surrounding fucking balloons? Like, I changed my fucking mind. Get me out.
I just would have jumped out of one of those already. Be like, nope, I'm out. I don't do heights, so.
No, and I'm such a coward. I don't want to fucking explode. First Irishman to explode in the helium balloon with red cocaine.
Flying everywhere.
But I was just kind of like, if you thought that that was the weapon, why did you shoot it? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they thought they could disintegrate it straight up.
I don't know, but I still thought it was a clever idea. Like they took certain ideas they borrowed from other movies, like the baby or the embryo being stuck inside a heather. They couldn't remove it. They couldn't have the abortion. Taking that from the face hugger being on Kane and Alien. Just little things like that they borrowed and kind of made it their own. So it was still...
It felt familiar, but was different at the same time.
Yeah, they were able to do it cheaply for lack of a better term, because this isn't so over the top grandioso. Like, you have alien births that are still somewhat human,
Oh, of course.
minus that weird looking puppet.
Which didn't last long anyway. They probably didn't have the budget to keep it going. You know, they needed the Acolytes budget. 180 million would have been sweet.
Need that other hand. We need the gaffer back. Baby's got to die. Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
Then we also need the fluffer over by Leslie over there.
That stupid show. I can't wait for tomorrow night. I want to see how it ends. It's not gonna. It's gonna be a cliffhanger.
Yep. But at least with, like, say, the final battle, like, overall, you're getting a very quality performed show. The writing is fairly decent, and the pacing is pretty damn good, except for what I felt was a little stumble in the beginning moments of the first episode of the final battle.
I liked it at first. I don't know why. And now I look back on it and still confused. Like, nothing did happen. Oh my God.
Well, it's a first time watch for you, so it plays a little bit differently as opposed to me, who's seen it a few times, and it just doesn't carry the same weight it should, because nothing really happens.
Yeah. But I liked this. Again, this is a lot of fun allegory. I was telling my wife about it, who kept rolling her eyes every time I mentioned aliens. I'm like, but if you pretend that they're not aliens, that the story really didn't have anything to do with aliens in the first place, it's really good. Like, it should be taught in schools. And she's like, no, it doesn't sound like it should be.
She'd rather everybody have to learn from War of the Worlds TV show.
I took a little bit of shit for that tonight. Because I told you I want to get Friday the 13th, the series, tomorrow for Prime Day. And she's like, the last TV show you got was, like, you said it was the worst thing you'd ever seen. I'm like, yeah, it really was. But this is a good one. I promise. I remember. Promise this time.
Yep. That's actually a really good show. They should have just called it Curious Goods, but
that might have been taken by another type of film.
I am not going to Google that. We are a pro podcast here, Kevin.
Oh, sorry.
We're pro YouTubers now.
Oh, that's right. I can't say words like that.
Pro tubers.
Pro tubers.
We got skills.
Backtracking skills.
Now, does this have you excited for getting into the TV show, or how are you feeling so far based on the original and then this miniseries so far?
So I'm not sure about the TV show. I really enjoyed this. I liked the original series. I liked the final battle. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go next. I've seen some of the character designs that they've made the aliens a little bit, like, more lizard-like, and I'm okay with that. I don't know. I'm curious to see where else they could take this crazy universe. Like, Hunter Thompson had a bunch of jokes of what the world would be like had the Germans won the war. Like, circus, circus, the entire country would be like circus, circus had the Germans won the war.
Right.
So I've heard that there's images like, I don't know. Did the aliens have more power in the TV show?
No, it's a little bit more of the same. But then again, like I said, I've only seen it once before, but I have it on DVD here, and I'll be opening up this set. I've never opened it since I bought it years ago. So
nice.
But I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be fun to watch it again because I don't remember much of it, but I always remembered liking these episodes. Always seem to have a great familiarity with me. And so whenever I do rewatch these, it's like, that's pretty good stuff. And, I know these weren't canceled, but ultimately the TV show is, and that's how we're working this into our schedule, because this is technically season 2 of this show, in my opinion, because you got miniseries number 1, this one, and then you get the actual TV show, which is a full-fledged 19-episode TV show. But it is canceled because they never got to finish the last 3 to 6 or 7 episodes that they were going to have left, so it does end on a cliffhanger.
Oh, get out.
That I do remember. So
That sucks for them.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, well. We'll get to that one soon.
yeah. I mean, I think the only other thing I probably want to talk about without getting into like a 4-hour review of this breakdown by breakdown is I was really enjoying like the music and the overall like aesthetic of this show. Like it felt good that it was just taking place in real world LA, not something super futuristic and not something so far back in like the 60s, but that could have been interesting too. But what do you think, Kevin?
Like I said, there was some disco beats. And
I mean further back than just disco. Because that was just the previous decade. Like I still listen to 80s and 90s music, so I got nothing to say about that.
I still listen to disco. So I'm not going to say
You're
nothing.
fired.
No, I like all kinds of music with the exception of country. I really like rap and country. I don't listen to a whole lot of that, but I like music of all ages. This I really did enjoy. I thought I can't comment about the Star Wars because that didn't happen in this series, so I can't joke about that at all. But it felt better in this miniseries, I think, than in the original. They were less,
I would say so,
insistent upon trying to make it like Star Wars. They made it its own thing. It felt more like a war type story or score to it.
Yeah.
Like you were watching The Great Escape, for lack of a better term.
I like that. That's a good comparison.
Which there were several great escapes in this. Excuse me.
And some that were maybe not so great. My
No,
favorite was just Donovan and Martin jumping out of the ship by parachute. They're going skydiving. And Donovan's just like, I don't want to. Let's do something else. Nope, that's the only way. But I don't want it. Bye.
Our cadets do this all the time. Do they? No,
really?
but it's...
It sounded good. That was so funny.
That was really funny. I enjoyed that. Like Marc Singer's fantastic. I really enjoyed seeing him again in this. Somebody had said that his character got a bit douchey in the final battle, but I didn't really notice that at all. Like I liked Mike all the way through.
They might just be talking about how he was acting with like his son and Julie and that dynamic because he was a bit douchey to like both of them, but you end up figuring out like he's trying to walk on pins around him or broken glass, but he ends up finding out like something really is wrong with both of them and he's got to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
that's right. But no, he was cool. He was fantastic. Is he going to show up in the TV show?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm good for it.
Both of them.
Because
he was in the remake too. Because he had a cameo as being one of the visitors, actually.
Really?
Yep. And Morena Baccarin is in the newer remake from 2009 too. She's Diana. But she's got a very, very short haircut.
That's okay.
I mean, I like that show too, so can't say I hated it. I enjoyed it. It was like 10 episodes, so 20 episodes overall, but after season 2, they killed that one too. It's like,
was it NBC? Was it NBC? That sounds like something NBC would
ABC.
Do.
Always be crazy.
Always be crazy and cheap.
Pretty much. Kevin, you got any final thoughts before we head on out tonight?
No, just gosh, that I'm glad we watched this. It felt like a gamble for me, but after the first mini series, I was just so excited to see how this would end. I wanted to binge it all in one day. It didn't get done.
Yeah, same.
It just did. It wasn't because I was too burned out again. I really wanted to sit and binge the whole thing this time. It just time didn't permit. But having seen the original miniseries, I was ready to go for the final battle.
Now, would you recommend this show to anybody then?
Sure. Like I said, even my wife, who hates this sort of thing, just on principle, I'm like, no, this is really good. It's really smart. You would like it. I think anybody would, like anybody that turns on the news today. It's like, this is relevant. This is interesting. This is good.
Bit of a timeless series.
Yeah, watch things like this because it's important. Listen to its message because it's important.
Yep. As time tells itself.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like this miniseries. I like both of them. I think they're both very outstanding work. It's just unfortunate that Kenneth wasn't involved, but hopefully one day he can get the rights to his property back and he can be able to make something new on his own accord in line with what he was really intending. But that said, I enjoy this. I'm really looking forward to the TV show, and it's going to be fun. I don't remember much about it other than how it ends. So I'll be curious to see what you think about that and what everybody else out there thinks. So if you want to hang along with us and check out that show, I do believe you can pick up the DVD sets. They're still relatively inexpensive. But Kevin, is there a place online you were finding this at? I couldn't remember.
No, I don't think so.
So I will be assisting you with that. So.
Yeah.
But you can find the DVD sets out there for like less than $20 for that. And there's Blu-rays for the original miniseries, easily obtainable, but that is streaming on several places online right now too. So
let me double check here. The series. Anyway, we don't need to listen to me.
No, we don't. So we're going to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hey, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. If you got any comments, you think we missed something, something you thought about, something you want to talk about, got any memories, anything about V the Final Battle, put it down below. We do read our comments. And also, please hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell notification so you can stay tuned to all of our video content. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. We'll see you all on the next V, the complete series. Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at sunsandshadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.